Hi everyone, Snorkelbum here, and as you watch me play some Monster Hunter Rise badly in the background, I just wanted to give my hot take on the huge gaming news recently announced. Now, if you've been living under a rock and haven't heard yet, Microsoft has purchased Activision Blizzard for a sum of $68.7 billion. Just to put that into a bit of perspective, game spending for the entire US in 2021 totaled just $60.4 billion overall. This is just a massive amount of money that I literally can't even wrap my head around. My first reaction to the news, besides the obligatory "What? Are you serious?" was honestly one of a bit of worry. Recently in the entertainment industry, we have seen a trend of consolidation. Huge companies are buying other huge companies to become even bigger monoliths, and I'm not really sure if this is a good thing. Everyone knows that competition is a good thing, but when companies start buying out their competition, those companies start doing whatever they want. I mean, we've seen what Disney started doing already. Now, Microsoft, or more specifically Xbox, has been in my good books for a while now. Game Pass is awesome. They seem to be very open to crossplay and have generally seemed to be playing nice with other companies, but Microsoft is still Microsoft. They're no strangers to having a stranglehold on markets. And the question that literally everyone is asking is, what is going to be exclusive? I mean, Activision Blizzard is a huge company with big studios and IPs. I mean, let's look at the list. We have Blizzard Entertainment, King, MLG, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, High Moon Studios, and Toys for Bob, which develop IPs like World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, Hearthstone, Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm, Candy Crush, Call of Duty, Crash Bandicoot, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Guitar Hero, Spyro, and Skylanders. So what's gonna happen with all these studios and franchises? I guess the answer for now is not much, since the deal won't actually finalize until later this year, but then what? If you're a Sony fanboy or even someone who just owns a PlayStation and nothing else, I can't imagine this news was great for you to hear, especially if you like to play Call of Duty. Now, I would imagine that there are deals in place for the next few years for that franchise, which would keep it on multiple platforms, and it kind of makes sense to keep it that way considering how well the franchise sells, but I also know you don't spend almost $70 billion to not get anything from it. Now, when asked about exclusivity, Phil Spencer would only say, "Our goal is to allow the content to reach as many players as possible," which is really not saying much. Right now, it's impossible to know for sure, but if the Bethesda acquisition is anything to go by, then I would expect quite a few titles becoming exclusive to the Xbox and PC platform. But there is definitely an upside to all this. Maybe under Microsoft, we can see some improvement in some of these franchises. I'm looking at you, World of Warcraft. Maybe we'll even have some interesting crossovers if you're into that sort of thing. I just hope it's not something like Master Chief Transmog armor in WoW. That would be a bit much. Maybe a Warthog mount wouldn't be too bad though. Or a Spyro non-combat pet? And speaking of WoW, I have a lot of interest in what will happen to it considering it's probably the game I've played the most in my entire life. They might have a bigger budget and more resources now, so will they be able to put out a new expansion that is actually good? Will there be a WoW 2 eventually? And what about Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4? Are these games gonna change at all, or will they be released as planned? There really are a lot of questions we won't have the answers to for quite a while. One thing that will probably be some good news for a lot of consumers, though, is that I think we'll be seeing a lot of these games hitting Game Pass eventually. I think WoW especially makes sense for Game Pass considering how many subscribers it has been bleeding over the last year. This could be the shot in the arm that it desperately needs, because players may be a bit more likely to play it if they don't have to pay extra for it. And if WoW comes to Game Pass, could it also come to the Xbox? WoW has had controller support for years now, so it could, in theory, work on a console. I have no idea how hard it would be to port it over, but it's an interesting idea and would open up an even larger player base to the beleaguered MMO. Whatever happens, the gaming industry has literally changed overnight with this, and we'll be seeing the effects for years to come. Microsoft has thrown down the gauntlet at Sony, and you know Sony isn't just going to sit by and do nothing. If anything is sure, the future of gaming will be an interesting one. But What do you guys think? Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Are you hopeful for the future, or do you think this is a disaster waiting to happen? Let me know down in the comments. Or, even better, catch me this Friday evening over on the Gaming Instincts podcast, where we'll be having a more deep discussion about this very topic. The link to the channel can be found in the description. Also, what do you think of this style of video? Should I do more? Let me know about that in the comments as well. As always, a like would be much appreciated, and a sub would be even better. Thanks for watching.